Give the gift of a delicious burger from Bulldog Burger, a soup and sandwich from Sweet Pepper's Deli, appetizers and cocktails from The Grill, or even a wood-fired steak from Harvey's. Choice is the perfect gift. An all-in-one gift card from Eat With Us.
The bravest thing that my dad has done has been going back to school.
It wasn't when he first enlisted, it was when he found his first support group.
The bravest thing she did is when she asked for help.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather This Morning.
Hey, good morning, good morning. Welcome into Mississippi Live Weather this morning at 7:30. Here's what you need to know as you're headed out the door this morning. Dense fog advisory is still in place throughout a good portion of the area. Also dealing with some scattered storms this morning and also throughout your day ahead. Even better chances come into play tomorrow. So let's get into what's impacting you out the door this morning. Take a look at this. Still dealing with some rain in the very north and western corner of the state. So I just want to make that clear as I'm about to zoom in and show you overall what that looks like and track out a few of those heavier pockets. Nothing is severe at this time, and most of us are very dry. You can see here from Cleveland, Greenwood, Grenada, Amory, Aberdeen, looking at mainly dry conditions, Tupelo up into Corinth, a lot of us dry. So, but I'm going to zoom in for the folks up in Northwest Mississippi, and we're going to be talking about exactly where that rain is setting up and where it's going to be moving to in the coming next hour. So let's talk about it. Mississippi Live Radar this morning. Just something of note. I've said this on each of our shows. Just want to make you aware that we are dealing with some radar issues from the radar we usually look at in Millington. That's just north of Memphis. We usually look at that for these showers and storms up in the north and western corner of the state. That radar site is down. So we're having to look at these storms from a pretty far view, pretty far angle from the radar site all the way in Columbus. So just something of note. That's why this doesn't look as high resolution as it usually would, but still can see it and still can track out the rain for you. So looking at these showers, I want to loop it and show you overall where they've been over the past hour. They are crossing over the Mississippi River and continuing to, but watch as they made their way through this heavier storm, the heaviest storm that I've been watching here in Northwest Mississippi right now, passing in places like DeSoto County, was really heavy right before it crossed over 55 and 51 this morning. Now it has weakened just a bit. So that's some good news. Again, nothing severe, but definitely was on the stronger side, bringing some heavy rainfall with it. And these storms are loud, could wake you up or wake folks up if they're not already awake this morning, with some lightning associated with those as well. So that was the main one we're watching. Let me zoom in and show you exactly where it is now. Again, it's crossed over 55 this morning. If you are traveling along 22 or 55 up into Tennessee, just want to encourage you to add a few more minutes to your travel time, because this rain is ongoing and you will run into it the closer you do get to Memphis this morning. So still tracking out that heavy rain in places like Hernando, Alphaba, over into Cockrum and Lewisburg this morning, and Buena Vista Lakes as well. So that's kind of the heaviest pocket that we've been tracking out here in North Mississippi. And I have to zoom really in to see that, right? So that's kind of the only place we're tracking out rain this morning. Still moving and making its way, kind of sliding off to the east. So still going to be impacting people over the next hour. So kind of want to track this out all the way into places like Marshall, Benton, and Tippah County as well. So this is going to be making its way again, sliding off to the east. Nothing severe, but heavy rain is moving in. Going to be in places like Independence at 7:38, into Victoria around 7:38 as well. Red Bank 7:44, and to places like Mack at 7:52, Mariana around 7:56, Hudsonville 8:02, Holly Springs 8:03, Chulahoma around 8:07. Galena around 8:14, into places like Snow Lake Shores around 8:17. Let me get my times right, guys. And then into Ashland around 8:23. So again, these are going to continue to slide off to the east. As they do, they're going to continue to impact more and more of us here in North Mississippi. Let me give you an overall view, and then we'll get into a few camera views over in that portion of the state. But just want to reiterate, the only place I'm tracking rainfall is in places like Tunica, Panola, Tate, and DeSoto counties this morning, stretching into Marshall County. The rest of us, especially in Northeast Mississippi, are starting off On the drier side, still could be seeing some patchy fog out there as well. Take a look over in Batesville. I want to show you a few of these cameras in northwest Mississippi because it is scattered storms. Not everybody dealing with that, even in Panola County within the city looking dry. The rain is sitting off to the north and west of Batesville. Temperatures in the middle 60s there. Take a look over in Crenshaw. They're a little bit closer to the rain. You can see all of that cloud cover kind of settled in, and temperatures in the middle 60s over in Crenshaw. As I said, still dealing with some visibility concerns as well. If you're not dealing with the rainfall, you could be dealing with the visibility concern. We're looking at still seeing some patchy dense fog settling in places like Alcorn, Tishomingo, Prentiss County, stretching into places like Lee County, all the way down into the Golden Triangle region for some as well. So this is patchy in nature. Not everybody's seeing this within their local towns, but some local roadways, especially your neighborhood roadways, likely to see some patchy dense fog this morning. We still see dense fog advisory until 10 a.m. for a good portion of us. So if you run into that, make sure to keep it slow. Keep your beams on low this morning. Temperature-wise, most of us in the 60s out there, 64 in Water Valley, 62 in Bruce. We're going to continue to track up through the 60s this morning, middle 60s by 8, middle 70s by 11, and it's another warm day ahead with temperatures in the upper 70s for a good portion of us this afternoon. And we'll continue to track out those rain chances. You can see them becoming more prevalent as we head mid-morning into early afternoon because those storms continue to slide off to the east, impacting more of our area as we head over the coming day ahead. Temperatures in the middle 70s by 5. We're back in the 60s by 8, and rain chances do lessen as we head into the evening. Here's an overall view of what's going on right now on satellite and radar. We're watching the stalled front just to our north. That's the catalyst for these showers and storms to just continue to slide off to the east. You can see the main batch of those right now in portions of Arkansas, stretching all the way over into Dallas. These are going to continue to move our way as we head into your afternoon, but the bulk of the rainfall does stay outside of our area in places like Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, up into Tennessee and the Boot Heel of Missouri. That's where we're mainly going to be seeing rain out there today, but a few of those, again, could shift into our area. As that front continues to lift off to the north, we're going to be starting off our Friday on a mainly dry note, but heading closer into the afternoon, midday and early afternoon hours, we're going to continue to see activity start to pick up, still become very isolated in nature. I'm not looking at widespread rain, at least for the day of Friday, but still could be impacting some of your plans with some heavy downpours. We won't see this front bringing a little bit more widespread line coming in until we head later in the evening into your early Saturday morning. That front continues to slide off to the east throughout your Saturday, bringing more clearing conditions through the back half of the day. So Saturday actually looking like a pretty nice day out there for you. Coming up next, we're going to be talking more of your hour-by-hour forecast. So if you're wanting to plan out some events or maybe some football games on Friday, we'll talk more in depth, more zoomed in view and hour by hour view of your day on Friday all the way through your Saturday. We'll also talk about what to expect past this rainfall. What can we expect this weekend and going into our Thanksgiving week? All of those answers, of course, coming up with your 7-day forecast right after this.
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that I would never be able to get over it and that my kids wouldn't have a father. I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. For the longest time, fear held me back from ultimately being who I wanted to. I had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Maggye McAuley.
Hey, welcome back into the Room to Room Weather Center, and thanks as always for starting off your Thursday morning here with Mississippi Live Weather. We are looking at the Mississippi Live radar right now. You can see rain stretching in portions of the western portion of the state of Mississippi. Now, a lot of us dry from Hickory Flat, New Albany, Lee County, maybe a few spot light showers out there the further east that you go. But the main batch of rainfall settling in the main or the very north and western corner of the state right now. From South Haven, Hernando, Tate, and Panola County getting in on the majority of the rainfall this morning. Some of that could be on the stronger side at times with lightning associated with these. Nothing severe, but some heavy downpours and some loud storms. I will say I'm in Senatobia right now, and I haven't heard anything just yet. So maybe not as strong as we're thinking out there. We're having to look at this from a pretty far distance within the radar sites this morning. So just putting some ground truth out there this morning. We saw some heavy rainfall pass through places like Coldwater from Hernando to Senatobia this morning. That heavy rain is kind of broken up, so that's some good news. But that's the main portion of the state. We're seeing rainfall right now. For the rest of us, kind of drier conditions and some fog still prevalent across the area as well. Here's a live look over in Caledonia. Lots of clouds out there this morning, even if you're not seeing rain. Temperatures in the 60s, middle 60s out there over in Caledonia. And again, lots of clouds to start off your day. You're going to be dealing with clouds throughout a majority of your day as well. Here's a live look over in Pontotoc, same story, different place. Lots of clouds out there, temperatures in the 60s. That's what you can expect out the door this morning. Here's a look over at your airport delays region-wide. Even with all this rain passing through the Little Rock Airport, the Memphis Airport as well, I'm not tracking any moderate or major delays within either of those airports. Still tracking some moderate delays over in the Houston Airport, and then more of a national view, still tracking some major delays in the Phoenix Airport, Chicago, and then up in LaGuardia as well. Those are the main three airports that we've been watching over the past week or so with the most delays. Sticking here in North Mississippi, temperature is going to be getting in the upper 60s by 9, 70s return by 10, middle 70s by 11, and you can see those rain chances turn from about a 10 to a 20% over your next few hours. That is because the showers and storms that are in northwest Mississippi are going to continue to make their way off to the east, impacting more of us in the coming next few hours. High temperatures out there for your day ahead. Some of us are back in the 80s, a lot of us in the 70s, especially if you're closer to the state line where you're going to be seeing more rainfall. 70s, middle 70s, and then upper 70s expected from really Tunica, Senatobia, Oxford, all the way into Red Bay, Alabama. Further south that you go, 80s, 81 in Bruce, 80 in Houston, 80 in Eupora, 80 down in Kosciuszko as well. Here's a look at those showers and storms. I told you they're going to continue to make their way off to the east this morning, still impacting northwest Mississippi as we head now all the way through noon. Now past noon, that's when we start to see these continue to make the push into places more like New Albany, Boonville, Corinth, Iuka. As they do slide through, they do become weaker and lessening. So that is some good news out there at least, but still there and still likely to see some rainfall into your early afternoon if you're closer to that Tennessee state line all the way through your early evening hours. Now that front finally begins to lift off to the north and we should see a drier overnight ahead. Going into your Friday though, Friday is our main chance of rain. So stick with me. Let's talk about what's that going to look like. Very scattered in nature is going to be the story through most of the day. I'm thinking Friday morning through noon, not looking like much going on, but midday to your early afternoon, starting to see a few more pockets make their way into North Mississippi. You can see that's not widespread by any means, but a few of us getting in on some heavy downpours between noon all the way through 7. So if you got any plans, just encourage you, have the rain gear handy just in case. Now let's talk about those game times. This is at 7 p.m. Seeing a few showers and storms out there that could impact some games, but a lot of us looking dry. But going later on in those game times, especially if you're folks over in Lafayette County, Lee County, Red Bay, and North, you are more likely to run into a heavy spot storm that could lead to some game delays later on in your games. And then we finally start to see this line develop as we head 11 p.m. and on. That is that main front that's finally going to be pushing into the overnight hours. So kind of holding in on your luck for Friday. Could see a spot storm, could not. Very isolated and scattered in nature until we head into 11 o'clock into those overnight hours. As for our high school game of the week, temperatures are going to be near 70 for those pregame times, into the 60s halftime and on. And you can see rain chances do go up as we head halftime and then into the final snap of those games. That cold front will finally push through overnight and then out of here by a majority of our Saturday, leaving us with a northerly wind and some clearing conditions out there for your Saturday. Here's a look at your weekend forecast. Middle 70s for Saturday, turn into 70 out there for Sunday. I think some of us could be in the 60s for Sunday as well. That's not out of the question. So definitely a nicer day with some northerly wind as well out there for your Sunday. Again, slight rain chance for Saturday, drying out for the back half of your weekend. How much rain are we looking to pick up once it's all said and done over your next 3 days? Well, not a whole lot. I think anywhere between 1/4 to 1/2 of an inch here in North Mississippi, and that's true in a good portion of the southeast as well from that system that comes in for your day tomorrow. High temperatures, want to show you this because we are looking at some warm days ahead before a pretty big cool down. Middle 70s Friday and Saturday, 70s Sunday through Tuesday, and then take a look at the end of this bar graph right here. We're looking at temperatures on Wednesday in the middle 60s, on your Thanksgiving holiday in the 50s. Yeah, we're looking at some cooler air coming into play with our next system that's going to allow temperatures Thanksgiving and on to be a bit cooler out there. We're talking about highs in the 50s. So we turn from well above average to below average going into your Thanksgiving holiday and then also going into the first week of December. Temperature outlook is also showing that as well, going into the end of November, early December, looking to turn below average here in North Mississippi and a good portion of the South as well. So cooler air is coming, but it's not coming until the end of the 7-day forecast, right? So we got a few days to wait on that. 70s out here for a majority of us over the next few days, middle 70s Friday and Saturday. We dry out into your weekend ahead, and then we kind of reload into your next work week with our next system coming into play. More widespread rain is going to be here before Thanksgiving holiday, looking to come in Monday night into early Tuesday as of right now, but going to bleed into your Monday evening and then into your Tuesday morning. So keeping our eye on that next system that's going to be bringing a bit more cooler conditions by mid to late week. So that's a full look at your 7-day forecast. Make sure to tune in with us this evening at 5, 6, and 10 as meteorologist Gabe Maynor and our chief meteorologist Matt Lawpine will be bringing you everything you need to know to get you out and about for your evening. They'll also be bringing you the latest model runs of what Friday is going to be looking like as well. And I'll see you back here on your Friday morning at 6:30.
Even though Gabe grew up in Alabama, Mississippi has now become his home and his family. And one thing about Gabe is he keeps his family safe.